Hi, Edison families. It's Mr. Slowy here, and it's for a special Friday family update that we have. Hey, on Tuesday, January 5th in the evening, we had a scheduling meeting that was virtual that you were all invited to. If you had any questions about scheduling, and our counselors did a phenomenal job in student services of going over what is happening for scheduling here for our students for next year. So Ms. Skog and I today are going to go through the process. We have a document with all kinds of links for contact information, Zoom links that are in office hours for counselors if you have any questions. So we're going to go over that document today for you as a family to hopefully answer any questions you have. Today we're doing this in English, but we also are getting this translated in Spanish that will go out Monday for our Spanish-speaking families. So hope you enjoyed this video, but for now we're just going to go over some of this information. So here we go. Thank you.
Hi there, Edison students and parents. I'm just here to talk to you a little bit about the scheduling process and what you can expect in the next couple of weeks. Listed on this document that you see on your screen is a list of the Edison counselors and which grades that they support. It's right here. So if you have an issue at all during this scheduling time, please feel free to reach out to your counselors. They'll be meeting with students in their science classes the week of January 5th through the 21st. Check with them regarding this information. Counselors will meet with students a second time individually in their for their elective choices the week of January 22nd to 29th. So somewhere between the beginning of January and the end of January, please make sure that those elective choices are finalized before the students meet with the counselors the second time. And again, contact them if you have any issues. Counselors are also holding office hours for students or parents to come in with any questions that they may have. You can see right here that they'll be holding those office hours January 13th and February 3rd from 9 to 10:30. Each counselor has their own Zoom link that you could pop into and that you could ask questions, or if students think that they made a mistake, they can go in there and make those changes. So feel free to utilize those times with counselors to ask any questions that you may have.
Now I'm going to talk about this section on this sheet right now. That's our selection sheets and presentation. The first links you will see there are for our current 6th graders that will be going into 7th grade. We do have an English and Spanish version available. And this is your course request sheet. This is the sheet that your counselor, when they meet with your child the second time, will utilize this sheet to help them make their selections. One of the things that you will notice is it's a step-by-step process, and the 7th grade is obviously different than the 8th grade because there are some required classes at the different grade levels. One other thing that you will see on there is a link to all of the courses that are offered within the Green Bay school districts at all of our middle schools. So if there happens to be a course that we do not offer at Edison, and you're like your child would like to take another course, you have the opportunity to set up a meeting with your counselor. So if you'd reach out to them and myself, reach out to them and they'll set up a meeting with the 3 of us, and we can sit down and talk about that process. The next area in that section is our current 7th graders going into 8th grade, and that same information applies. Our next link that you will find right here is the classroom presentations that your child witnessed in their science classes either this week or in the next couple weeks with their counselor. We want to make sure you as a family had access to that presentation so you had all the information that they have received. The last thing on this page is right here. You will find in Spanish and English a link to our course selection book and planning guide for the whole district. That is a really nice resource to tell you about the courses, but also to start planning. And there's some different resources in there about when you start talking about your career, when you go through Edison, and most of you will go to Preble, that you start planning your course selections so you can start maneuvering to make the best decisions for your post-secondary goals. All right, at this time, I'm going to send it back over to Ms. Skog.
The next group that I want to speak with are our current 8th graders that are going into Preble next year. Miss Kong is your counselor, and she's here to help you along the way. However, Miss Kong will not be the one actually doing the scheduling with you. The Preble counselors are coming in to the students' science classes in these next couple of weeks, and scheduling with students in their science classes, very similar to how we're doing it here at Edison, except that it'll be with the Preble counselors. On this page, you'll be able to see these links that are here. All of these links are the ones that we spoke to in our meeting on January 5th. And some parents had questions about where those links were and where the course description booklets were, and all of it is on this sheet. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for our 8th graders. Also, you'll find below the last thing on the sheet for the 8th graders are the Preble School counselors and where they will be assigned. So if you see on the left-hand column here, if the student has the name A through C or involved at AVID, it'll be Mr. Adam Potasek, and his email is here. And that goes all the way through the alphabet up to Z. So you'll see that there's a certain counselor that have Spanish-speaking families with the last names here. And so you'll be able to reach out to any of those counselors as well if you have any questions. But you can always feel free to reach out to Ms. Kong in her office hours that I listed up above, or you can also reach out to the Preble counselor. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Usually scheduling is a arduous process anyway, and in this virtual world, it can be even more confusing. So please reach out with any questions to any of us, administrators, counselors, or Preble counselors. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Skog, thank you very much. And also thank you to our parents and guardians out there, our families. Really appreciate your patience as we get through this process together, but we have a lot of supports in place for you, a lot of opportunities to reach out to your counselors and in Zoom. Also, they're available by email, but we will work through this together and make sure that we have a great school year next year at Edison and our 8th graders that will be heading to Preble. So looking forward to going through this process with you. But as always, if you have any questions or need anything, please reach out. Take care and make it a great weekend. All right, Ms. Skog, thank you very much. And also thank you to our parents and guardians out there, our families. Really appreciate your patience as we get through this process together, but we have a lot of supports in place for you, a lot of opportunities to reach out to your counselors and in Zoom. Also, they're available by email, but we will work through this together and make sure that we have a great school year next year at Edison and our 8th graders that will be heading to Preble. So looking forward to going through this process with you. But as always, if you have any questions or need anything, please reach out. Take care and make it a great weekend.